What's up, anime fam? Today we're ranking the RIZZ of every major One Piece character, from 0 to 100. Who has the charm? Who has the presence? Let's find out. Starting things off, we have Marshall D. Teach, aka Blackbeard. Blackbeard's entire strategy is based on manipulation, deceit, and brute force. He spent decades on Whitebeard's ship, hiding his ambition and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He has a certain gravity to him, drawing in powerful, ruthless crewmates from Impel Down. But it's the gravity of a black hole, all-consuming and destructive. There's no charm, no wit, just a terrifying, patient ambition and a complete disregard for loyalty. For his complete lack of traditional RIZZ and his reliance on betrayal, Blackbeard gets a rock-bottom RIZZ rating of 10%. Next up, our favorite cotton candy lover, Tony Chopper. Chopper is pure, unadulterated innocence. He's a brilliant doctor who can cure ancient diseases and a loyal friend who will transform into a monster to protect his crew. But his charm is that of an adorable pet. He gets flustered and does his happy dance when complimented, and his naivety is a core part of his character. He did have a brief moment in the zoo arc where the deer minks found him irresistible, but that was purely based on his species. For his undeniable cuteness, but zero romantic game, Chopper gets a RIZZ rating of 25%. And now, for the man who built a career on tall tales, God Usopp. Usopp's greatest romantic achievement is having Kaya, a kind and wealthy girl, waiting for him back home, which is a testament to his good heart and their childhood bond. However, most of his charisma is manufactured through lies. His 8,000 followers in Dressrosa were a result of a misunderstanding, though he eventually stepped up and became the hero they believed him to be. He's a legend in his own mind, but his constant fear and cowardice, though often overcome, don't exactly scream charmer. Usopp gets a RIZZ rating of 35%. Of course, we have the man who stumbled his way into becoming a Yonko, Buggy the Clown. Buggy's charisma is a bizarre accident. He has amassed a following of powerful pirates, including former warlords like Crocodile and Mihawk, through sheer luck and a series of hilarious misunderstandings. People are drawn to the legend of Buggy, the man who stood with the Pirate King and challenged Whitebeard, not the man himself. It's a form of influence, but it's the opposite of intentional charm. For his accidental empire, Buggy gets a RIZZ rating of 40%. And finally, the Soul King himself, Brook. His infamous line, "May I see your panties?" has a success rate of exactly 0%, and it often earns him a punch from Nami. However, as a world-famous musician, he possesses a unique rock star charm. He can captivate thousands with his violin and his soulful music. He's a gentleman at heart, always dressed in a fine suit, even if his jokes are from another era. His tragic backstory of dying with his crew and spending 50 years alone on a ghost ship adds a layer of depth to his character. For his musical talent, but failed romantic efforts, Brook gets a RIZZ rating of 45%. Now we're moving into the mid-tier. These characters have some notable charisma, but they're not quite at the top of their game. They have their moments, but also their fumbles. First, the newest member of the Straw Hat crew, the helmsman of the sea, Jinbe. Jinbe's RIZZ is one of honor and respect. He's a former warlord and the leader of the Sun Pirates, and he carries himself with the quiet dignity of a true martial artist. He commands respect through his wisdom, his immense strength, and his unwavering loyalty, as seen when he stood up to Big Mom herself. While he's not a romantic character, his dignified presence and his ability to unite people, like he did in Fishman Island, make him a charismatic figure. For his honorable charm, Jinbe gets a RIZZ rating of 50%. Next, the shipwright of the Straw Hats, Frankie. Frankie's got that super RIZZ. He's a hard-boiled man with a heart of gold who cries at sad stories while denying it. He built a criminal empire from the ground up in Water 7, and his Frankie family adores him. He's more about bro energy than romantic charm, but his emotional fight with Senor Pink and his close, almost parental moments with Robin show a softer, more charming side. He's a man of passion and loyalty, and that's a form of RIZZ in itself. Frankie clocks in with a RIZZ rating of 55%. Now for a member of the worst generation, the Magician, Basil Hawkins. Hawkins' RIZZ is one of mystery and stoicism. He operates on the cold, hard logic and the percentages of his tarot cards, making him completely unpredictable. This creates an enigmatic and untouchable aura. Even when facing a Yonko, he remains calm and collected. It's not a warm or inviting charisma, but his calm, calculating demeanor can be intriguing. For his mysterious presence, Hawkins gets a RIZZ rating of 58%. Let's talk about the original One Piece villain with style, Sir Crocodile. Crocodile has that classic, cold-hearted mafioso charm. He's intelligent, calculating, and always seems to be in control. His leadership of Baroque works and his audacious, multi-layered plan to take over Alabasta were a testament to his manipulative charisma. Even after being defeated and imprisoned in Impel Down, he maintained his cool, confident swagger, even briefly allying with Luffy. For his villainous style, Crocodile gets a RIZZ rating of 60%. And what about the god of Skypiea, Enel? Enel's RIZZ is one of pure, unadulterated arrogance. He genuinely believed he was an invincible god, and with his observation haki and the Goro Goro no Mi, he had the power to back it up. He ruled Skypiea through fear and a literal divine judgment system, striking down non-believers from the sky. His laid-back, condescending attitude and his overwhelming power created an aura of untouchable superiority. It's a toxic and narcissistic charm, but it's a powerful presence nonetheless. For his god complex, Enel gets a RIZZ rating of 62%. Now for the loyal right-hand man of the Kid Pirates, Massacre Soldier, Killer. Killer's RIZZ is all about loyalty. He's mysterious behind his mask, but his devotion to his captain, Eustace Kid, is absolute. They've been friends since childhood, and Killer was willing to eat a failed smile fruit, sacrificing his ability to do anything but laugh, just to protect his captain. That level of dedication is a powerful, if tragic, form of charisma. For his unwavering loyalty, Killer gets a RIZZ rating of 64%. Now for the White Hunter of the Marines, Smoker. Smoker's RIZZ is all about his gruff, uncompromising sense of justice. He's a classic hard-boiled detective type, always with 2 cigars in his mouth and a scowl on his face. But underneath that tough exterior is a man with a strong moral compass, who isn't afraid to bend the rules for what's right. His reluctant respect for Luffy and his protective attitude towards his subordinate Tashigi show a softer side. For his rugged, no-nonsense charm, Smoker gets a RIZZ rating of 66%. Now for the first mate of the Straw Hats, Roronoa Zoro. Zoro has accidental RIZZ. He is completely oblivious to the effect he has on women. From his charged encounters with Tashigi, who looks just like his childhood rival Quina, to Perona, who followed him around and nursed him back to health, to Hiyori sleeping next to him in Wano, women are consistently drawn to his stoic strength. But Zoro's only true love is the sword. He's an NPC in the game of romance, which, ironically, only makes him more desirable. For his unintentional charm, Zoro gets a RIZZ rating of 65%. And we can't forget the man with a heart of gold, Don Quixote Rocinante, aka Corazon. Corazon's RIZZ is all about kindness. He was a clumsy, goofy, and silent man on the surface, but underneath he was a compassionate marine who would do anything to save Law. His genuine love and his ultimate sacrifice, smiling through the pain to ensure Law's escape, are what make him so beloved. He's the ultimate nice guy, who proves that true charm comes from the heart. Corazon gets a RIZZ rating of 67%. Next up, the Revolutionary Army's Chief of Staff, Sabo. As Luffy's sworn brother, charisma runs in the family. Sabo has a noble background, but a heart for the people, giving him a unique blend of refined charm and rebellious spirit. His dynamic with the other Revolutionary Army commanders shows his leadership qualities, and his emotional reunion with Luffy was a series highlight. For his revolutionary fire, Sabo earns a RIZZ rating of 68%. Now for the hero of the Marines, Kobe. Kobe's RIZZ is one of pure, earnest growth. He went from a sniveling cabin boy to a powerful Marine captain trained by Garp himself. His honesty, his bravery at Marineford, where he stood up to Akainu to stop the bloodshed, and his unwavering dedication to justice are incredibly admirable. He's the ultimate underdog, and his journey has earned him the respect of pirates and Marines alike. For his good-hearted determination, Kobe gets a RIZZ rating of 69%. Now we're entering the big leagues. These are the characters with undeniable charisma, the ones who can charm, command, and captivate with ease. Let's start with a fan favorite, the self-proclaimed son of Kaido, Yamato. Yamato's RIZZ comes from their passionate and free-spirited nature. Inspired by Kozuki Oden, Yamato has a powerful desire for freedom and a strong sense of justice. This passion is infectious, drawing in allies like Luffy and inspiring respect from the samurai of Wano. Their unique blend of strength, idealism, and a touch of naivety makes them an incredibly charismatic figure. Yamato gets a RIZZ rating of 70%. Now for another prominent member of the worst generation, the Big Eater, Jewelry Bonnie. Bonnie's RIZZ is one of rebellious spirit and surprising emotional depth. She's got a fiery attitude and isn't afraid to speak her mind, as seen when she stood up to Zoro in Sabaody. But her journey in the Egghead arc has revealed a deeply compassionate and loving side. Her relationship with her father, Kuma, is one of the most tragic and beautiful stories in One Piece. This blend of punk rock energy and heartfelt vulnerability makes her incredibly compelling. For her rebellious heart, Bonnie gets a RIZZ rating of 71%. Next, the man who was taken from us too soon, Portgas D. Ace. Ace had that classic bad boy with a heart of gold charm. He was confident, powerful, and had a smile that could melt hearts. He was also a loyal commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, and his crewmates adored him. His protective nature, especially towards Luffy, and his moments of vulnerability, like when he blushes, showed a softer side that made him incredibly popular. His tragic end only cemented his legendary status. Ace's fire burns bright, with a RIZZ rating of 72%. Now for a member of the worst generation with a rebellious streak, Eustace Captain Kidd. Kidd's RIZZ is pure, unfiltered punk rock energy. He's aggressive, confident, and has an unshakable belief in his own strength. He's a natural-born leader who commands the loyalty of his crew through his sheer force of will. He's not a gentle charmer, but his rebellious spirit and his refusal to back down, even to a Yonko, is undeniably magnetic. For his punk rock charisma, Kidd gets a RIZZ rating of 74%. And what about the archaeologist of the Straw Hats, Nico Robin? Robin has a quiet, mysterious, and intellectual RIZZ. She's often calm and composed, but she has a dark sense of humor and a tragic backstory that makes her incredibly compelling. Her intelligence is her greatest weapon, and her loyalty to the Straw Hats, as shown in her iconic "I want to live" moment, is unwavering. She's the femme fatale with a heart of gold. For her enigmatic charm, Robin gets a RIZZ rating of 75%. Of course, we have to include the man who can see the future, Charlotte Katakuri. Katakuri's RIZZ is one of honor and respect. He's a powerful and ruthless pirate, but he has a strict code of honor. His fight with Luffy, where he injured himself to even the odds after his sister interfered, earned him the respect of fans everywhere. He's a man of his word, and that integrity, combined with his quiet, badass demeanor, is a powerful form of charisma. Katakuri stands tall with a RIZZ rating of 77%. Now, for a villain who oozes toxic charm, Don Quixote do Flamingo. Doffy's RIZZ is pure, uncut villainy. He's manipulative, ruthless, and undeniably magnetic. With his iconic pink feather coat and his terrifyingly confident smile, he commands every scene he's in. He's a monster, but he's a monster with an incredible amount of style. His speech at Marineford about justice is a masterclass in charismatic manipulation. For his dark charisma, Doflamingo gets a dangerously high RIZZ rating of 78%. And let's not forget the Pirate Prince, Cavendish. This man's RIZZ is all about being beautiful, and he knows it. He has a literal army of fangirls who faint at the mere sight of him. He's the definition of a pretty boy, and you can't deny his effect on the ladies. His split personality, Hakuba, only adds to his mystique. Cavendish struts in with a RIZZ rating of 80%. Next, the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. Law has that cool, calculated, bad boy RIZZ that drives fans wild. He's mysterious, powerful, and a doctor to boot. It's no wonder he's consistently ranked as one of the most popular characters in Japan. He has a quiet intensity and a tragic backstory that just screams charisma. His alliance and banter with Luffy have become a fan favorite dynamic. For his undeniable cool factor, Law gets a RIZZ rating of 82%. And we can't forget the navigator of the Straw Hats, Nami. Nami's RIZZ is one of intelligence, wit, and a surprising amount of heart. She can wrap an entire crew of pirates around her little finger with her clever schemes. While she's often motivated by money, her loyalty to her friends is absolute, as seen when she stood up to Ulti for Luffy. She's the ultimate girl boss, who can be both cunning and compassionate. For her clever charm, Nami gets a RIZZ rating of 84%. Of course, we have to talk about the man who tries the hardest, Blackleg Sanji. Sanji is an active RIZZler, but his success is a mixed bag. His over-the-top displays of affection often fail, but when he's genuine, his RIZZ is undeniable. He won over Viola with his kindness and melted Pudding's heart by calling her third eye beautiful. His chivalry is so absolute that he would rather die than harm a woman. For his moments of true connection, Sanji secures a RIZZ rating of 85%. Now for a marine with a unique sense of justice, the former Admiral Aokiji, now known as Kuzan. Aokiji has that lazy justice RIZZ. He's incredibly powerful, but his laid-back, almost sleepy demeanor makes him one of the most intriguing characters in the series. He operates on his own moral compass, and his decision to leave the Marines rather than serve under Akainu speaks volumes. His relaxed attitude combined with his immense power is a captivating combination. For his cool and lazy charm, Kuzan gets a RIZZ rating of 86%. And now, we have reached the pinnacle of RIZZ, the absolute legends of charisma, whose presence can change the world. These are the characters with the highest RIZZ ratings in all of One Piece. Kicking off our top tier is the Honorable Princess of Alabasta, Nefertari Vivi. Vivi's RIZZ is one of pure, unadulterated goodness and royalty. She carries the weight of a nation on her shoulders, and her love for her people is so powerful that it inspired the Straw Hats to risk their lives for her. She's not a fighter, but her diplomatic charm and her unwavering belief in her friends and her country make her one of the most charismatic leaders in the series. Her farewell scene with the Straw Hats is one of the most iconic and emotional moments in the entire story. For her royal grace, Vivi gets a RIZZ rating of 87%. Next, the Dark King, Silver's Rayleigh. This man has legend RIZZ. Even in his old age, Rayleigh has an effortless cool that can't be taught. He's the right-hand man of the Pirate King, and he's got the wisdom and strength to back it up. He can casually use the Supreme King's haki to knock out an entire auction house, and he can go toe-to-toe with an admiral. Plus, he's married to Shaki, the former Empress of Amazon Lily. The man literally won at life. That's top-tier charisma that stands the test of time. For his legendary status, Rayleigh earns a RIZZ rating of 88%. Now for the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp. Garp's RIZZ is pure, unfiltered grandpa energy. He's a living legend who cornered the Pirate King multiple times, but he's also a goofy, donut-loving old man who falls asleep while talking. He commands absolute respect through his immense power and his legendary status, but his carefree attitude makes him surprisingly approachable. He's the kind of guy who will destroy a mountain with his fists and then laugh about it. For his legendary power and goofy charm, Garp gets a RIZZ rating of 89%. Of course, we have to talk about the Pirate Empress, Boa Hancock. Her RIZZ is so powerful, it's literally a weapon. The Mero Mero no Mi turns anyone who feels lust or attraction towards her into stone. She's canonically the most beautiful woman in the world and carries herself with the arrogance of a queen. Her only failure is falling for the one man immune to her charms, which, ironically, only makes her more endearing. Her love for Luffy is so powerful that she was willing to defy the world government and risk her status as a warlord for him. For her weaponized beauty, Hancock gets a RIZZ rating of 90%. Next, a man who proves that true RIZZ comes from the heart. Senor Pink. This is a man who dresses like a baby, not for a gimmick, but out of pure, tragic love for his comatose wife, Russian. That hard-boiled devotion gives him a paranormal RIZZ that defies all logic. Women flock to him because they see the real, loyal man underneath the bonnet. His fight with Frankie was a battle of pure, hard-boiled manliness that left everyone in tears. For his tragic loyalty, Senor Pink earns a well-deserved RIZZ rating of 93%. Now for the future Pirate King, Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy's got that protagonist RIZZ. It's unintentional, but it's undeniably effective. He doesn't try to be charming. He just is. He won over the entire island of Amazon Lily, a nation of women who hate men, and captured the heart of the Pirate Empress, Boa Hancock, without even trying. His ability to turn enemies into allies is so legendary that Mihawk himself called it the most dangerous power on the seas. From princesses to pirates, everyone is drawn to his infectious freedom. For his world-changing charisma, Luffy gets a RIZZ rating of 95%. And finally, the undisputed king of charisma, the man whose presence alone can end a war. Red-haired Shanks. Shanks' RIZZ is what we call Emperor's RIZZ. It's an overwhelming aura of confidence and power that commands respect from everyone. He walked into Marineford and stopped the entire conflict with a single sentence. He strolls into Mary Juaz to chat with the 5 elders. The man's charisma is so powerful, it bends the world to his will. He's the ultimate cool, calm, and collected leader. Shanks gets a perfect RIZZ rating of 100%, and that's the list. Did I get the ratings right? Who's your #1 Rizzler? Drop your hot takes in the comments. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.